According to a recent Politico poll, 49% of Americans say that the best times of the country are behind them. Join us now to talk about the current state of the American dream. CNBC contributor Walter Isaacson. He's a professor at Tulane University and the author of the biography Elon Musk and an advisory partner at Perella Weinberg. And it's good to see you, Walter.
Good to see you again, Joe.
You can explain what you think. We had Arthur Brooks on earlier in the week talking about what's wrong with I guess it's cross-generational, but some generations seem to be less happy than others. And this is the greatest time to be alive in the history of the world. And I'm not even talking about all the great apps you can get on your iPhone. But I look at what Google Maps do for me, trying to drive around. That, in and of itself, makes me the happiest I've ever been in as long as I've been allowed to be able to do things like that. What are we missing right now?
Well, you're right. In terms of goods and services, amazing things, cell phones, apps, it's a great time to be alive. However, there's something about the American dream, and you showed it in your poll, which is, and it really gets down to housing costs and basic costs. About 40 years ago, half the people in America, when they hit 30, were able to own a home, be married, have a car, start having kids. Certainly when I was 30, I was part of that majority of people, my age cohort, who was able to have a home, be married, start and have kids. Nowadays, that's less than 15%. I think it's largely housing costs. However many Google Maps you have on your iPhone and wonderful games you have, if you feel you can't afford a house, housing prices have gone up 50% since before the pandemic. But much more generationally, when you talk about it, our parents, kids, grandparents, on one salary, generally could own a home, have a car, start having kids.
I wonder, I mean, obviously it depends on where you want to live. There must be, but not everyone wants to move to, I guess, the middle of the country where you can afford a.
Well, hello from New Orleans. It's not that bad here.
No, it's not. And I know I could live like a king in my hometown of Cincinnati on a lot less money than one of these bedroom communities in New York City. I don't know what the answer is necessarily, Walter. I remember
I think
thinking
the answer is pretty simple when it comes to housing, which is build more housing. We have all sorts of restrictions. We have zonings. We have regulations. We've made it harder to build housing. Clearly, that's half the equation. The other half for the affordability is people's wages have stagnated over the past 40 years in globalization. But if we really wanted to do what happened to my father's generation, which is build huge amounts of housing and have VA loans and FHA loans, we could have housing that's affordable again.
It's not like there's no land. Good God, all you got to do is just drive out. The minute you get 10, 20 miles out of a city, it's like you look around, it's like it's empty in so many places. I thought when I was just entering college, I thought I could never buy a house because mortgage rates were up at 15%. That's when I was really sure you could never buy a house. That's not the problem right now. So that's been supplanted by something else. Is it beyond housing, Walter? Because with AI and and a lot of jobs just perhaps going by the wayside, we start hearing about UBI and things. I don't know if anyone's ever going to live the American dream if it's, the government is just paying for your sustenance and food and everything else. Because
the American dream, that phrase, the American dream, was coined by James Truslow Adams. Sorry about my voice. I guess something's happening here. But he said it's not just a dream of high wages and motor cars merely. It's the idea that your children are going to do better off than you and that you will have dignity in your life. And yes, that dignity comes from work. I'm not particularly worried about AI. I think it'll create more jobs than it will destroy. But I do think, you put your finger on it, Joe, there's an economic insecurity. I'm teaching at Tulane. Parents of the kids say, well, what jobs are going to be there? Yeah, maybe there'll be more jobs. But tell me, how do we make sure that we know not only our lives will be secure, but our kids will have an economic future?
So, Walter, I assume that you are at least questioning some of the comments that Elon Musk has made in this regard. He has a view that we're all going to be living sort of a leisure life in the future because robots are going to do everything, and he believes the cost of everything, therefore, becomes de minimis. I think the question's always been, how do we then live? Who's paying the bills? How does that all work?
I remember being with him when he first, and it's in the book, these descriptions of Optimus, and watching the hands work, Optimus the robot, watching the eyes, the cameras process information. And yes, those robots will be amazing, and it will especially be important because it takes AI out of the realm of large language models and, doing things that you can tell ChatGPT to do into doing real world things like driving cars or working in factories. That said, and I'm loath to disagree with Elon Musk, but that said, every time we have a new technology, whether it's steam-driven looms or any type of productivity, you get more productivity. Therefore, you get more wealth and more demands for different types of goods and services. So I do think there'll always be a demand for humans who know how to work with AI, and there'll always be jobs.
But you ultimately think that the money effectively will accrue to the large language providers, the technology companies? I mean, part of the question becomes sort of how money gets distributed throughout the economy in the future.
That's exactly the right question. Whether it was globalization and free trade that had caused an explosion of wealth, but it didn't distribute it to the working class and the middle class as well as it did to heads of big, corporate owners. Likewise, AI could do that. It could end up exacerbating this wealth divide, exacerbating the hollowing of the middle class. But that's a policy question, not a technology question. You can fix that pretty easily if you want, and you can just make sure the distributions of the proceeds from a booming economy are distributed not simply to the big companies.
You know what? It sounds like you're not writing it off for good, Walter. That's what I'm going to take away from this, because it should be getting better and better and better. And, I watch Reagan talk about a shining city on a hill and all that kind of stuff. And I just hope our best days are ahead. And I hate to hear that most people don't believe it.
I think they will be. And I think we can easily get housing costs down. And at Tulane, I'm creating companies that say will write people's biographies for them. Those are the type of new jobs that I think will be created.